Hi, I'm Seamless, and today I want to talk to you about deals, specifically bad deals, how to find them, and how not to take them when they're offered to you. Um, this angle of business is hard to quantify. It's hard to really like establish like a set rule set for. Especially like I mean I can set my rules for me because I have the experience and I know what I want, so that's the thing I can do. But like when you're new, this is less of a thing. That's something that you know about. Um, and so it's offered to oftentimes even like honestly like I started getting these kinds of deals when I hit 1,000 subscribers. Like when I hit that, just always. And since then, every couple of days I get someone who wants me to like feature their product of some kind, or like some kind of like brand like switching deal, or joining some coalition of some kind. Not unlike what Collab Alliance is, but Collab Alliance is a specific case, and I'll explain to you why I agreed to that deal and why it was a good deal. And then I have an example of a bad deal that I was given today, and why I am making this video, because it really was hilariously bad. And I'm really not trying to make fun of that guy. Like, I get your hustle, I get it, but it's not like I was never going to agree to it. Um, and so there's certain thresholds of like, yeah, let's do it, and hell no, and like, how do we know how to differentiate between the two of them? And it really comes down to verifying what a person is offering, at least in like the short term kind of thing. Like when someone wants to give you a very straightforward deal, like the bad deal that I was offered, and that deal was that he had a website and he wanted to host my YouTube channel videos, my tutorials on like under the tutorial section of his website, and he wanted in return for me to plug his website in those videos. So let's think about how valuable that is, right? So like he hosts my videos on his website, I get his engagement, I get I get that, stream of viewers from that, and then I plug his website, he gets a stream of viewers from me. So that'd be nice if we were around the same size. I would actually start to consider it, but I wasn't going to consider it at all, because I like, for all that I could find about how big he was, and like I'm not gonna lie, guy, like your email was also some full of like super grammar errors and like not very professional. So like I just didn't. That was never gonna happen. But he was very small. Like the website is very tiny, has no followers anywhere. Like he has a YouTube channel with no one on it, like 2 subscribers. Twitter with like no followers. Like it's super duper nobody. Like a very tiny, brand new institution. And so like it's like it just has no value to me. Like I will send business to them by plugging a video like many times over in one video than I would probably get in like a year of their operation of my videos being on their website. So that is a super lopsided deal. That is super duper not valuable. I am not going to do that deal. So that's like a very straightforward thing. And for those kinds of deals, that's what you do. You look up their numbers, you compare it to yours, and you say yes or no. Now, you might be thinking, well, those numbers can lie. They could be wrong. And those numbers, for example, because people could buy Facebook likes. They could buy Facebook comments and, post likes and shares. They can same thing with SoundCloud, YouTube. All these social media platforms. Twitter can be gamed. So, like, how do you know when they're full of shit? Well, it's actually kind of easy to pop out to actually, like, parse when a person has a legit following or not. And like, I personally noticed this when I was fairly, small. Like when I got around like 10K Facebook likes, my own posts got far more engagement out of them than like someone who had like 4 or 5 times my following, because their following was fake. When they have like 100,000 Facebook likes and they make a post and they get 2 likes and a comment, that's how you know they're fake. Or when they have a whole bunch of comments, but they're like meaningless, meandering, not comments. Like on SoundCloud, the paid comments, you'll see like, oh, great song, this was really nice, and like they're not really talking about anything, they're just kind of just saying stuff. And like when everyone is doing that and nobody is making any kind of like specific contextual comment about anything, that's how you know their following's full of shit. And that's when you start to question everything about them, and then you start to think, okay, well, I can't really like have this deal. And there's sort of another angle to this. Like, it's not to say necessarily that you shouldn't do the deal with it for that reason alone, although that's a pretty good reason not to. But the other angle is that you can alter the deal to like make sure your interests are accounted for. Like, for example, with the guy who offered me that bad deal made an appeal to me when I said no, that like, yeah, he's small, but small things become amazing things. Like, I was small once upon a time, and I have a life now. I have a career out of this. Oh my God, holy shit. Like that's the thing that happens. But let me tell you something about that. That's super duper rare. And also at no point, and even now, am I like guaranteed to still have this as a career at any time? Like it could crumble and die immediately for reasons I have no control over. Like that could be a thing that happens. And most small businesses fail. Like in the most new businesses fail rather in the first year. Like that's like the success stories are unbelievably rare. So like you cannot, like a person who is currently small cannot make an assertion that they will be big. Like you just can't go with that. However, if you have a particular amount of faith in them and you decide that you want to like throw your dice and like be in there on the ground floor or whatever, which like I was a big fan of in the beginning, like not necessarily for like the YouTube stuff, but like when I played Half-Life 2 Deathmatch a lot. That's actually where I first started using the name Seamless, and I would join clans, and I would always join like tiny clans. I wouldn't even try to join larger clans, and largely I didn't want to be in a clan. I've never been much of a joiner, but like when I would do like the small brand new like community level stuff. Like that's always what I wanted to do, because like I was enamored with the idea of getting in on the ground floor or something that could be amazing. None of it ever was. No thing that I ever joined at that level ever got to be a large enough deal that mattered. Especially when I started, like even actually when I started trying to be like a producer for real, I used to want to do video game soundtracks. So what I did is that I went to the CryMod forums for the CryEngine, but when Crysis was new. Cry. And like, because they released the things, people can make mods, people like make like whole games out of it. So I decided, cool, I'll just go offer my scoring services to people who are making mods. That'd be great. This is before Steam Greenlight was a thing, or early access was a thing, at least outside of extremely specific cases like Mountain Blade and that kind of deal. But so that meant that like, you know, if I had tried to do that kind of thing now, I probably would have gotten more actual business because games would have been actually released. But no game that I ever worked on at that level ever got anywhere near release. The most done those games ever got was actually the soundtrack, because I did my job. But so like I have a tremendous amount of experience about like small things not working out. So is my point. No, but like it's not to say that it couldn't work out. And if you did want it to work out and you did want to get in there, then like you can modify the deal, like fucking negotiate. Like you can, like you want your interest to be represented. So like, you know, for that bad deal, a deal that I might have been okay with if I wanted to go ahead with it, which I don't. But if I did, what I would say is that like, okay, well, for 3 months you can host my videos. And if I see that like there's an amount of traffic that's coming from your website that actually matters, then we can talk about branding. And if things are just like the same from then on, then like we're just not gonna have a deal, because that's that whole thing. And you might be thinking, well, that's totally unfair to him, because the whole point he's trying to get at me is so that like I can like leverage my business to give a jump start of his thing. Yeah, that's why I'm not doing the deal like that. But you might be offered deals like if I was offered that deal when I had like 1,000 subscribers, that might actually be a little bit more tantalizing. It might be a little bit more of an actual like a smart plan, just because I have almost no traffic, he has almost no traffic, and we grow together, and we do get out the ground floor. And also not only that, but like the implosion of his website wouldn't have really affected me at all. Like that would have been, you know, an okay thing. But like at my level, like a plug in my video is a big deal. Something that I have been in the past paid a lot of money for, and like to just do that for free for someone who's tiny, like out of the goodness of my heart, that is a huge ask. And unless it was like a personal friend of mine or someone who's like super duper like potential is obvious, then it's just not a good deal. It's like the deal doesn't work out to be anything that could be like really viable. But like even if it was viable, you have to be careful. Like there's a certain identity problem with this sort of stuff, and that I had early on when I was offered similar deals to like join coalitions and other YouTube channels and whatever to bolster up like a community to like be a thing, so that like, you know, but more numbers together, like, we get bigger. The thing is that if we gets bigger, that's less me is the thing. And like this is a very selfish idea for me to have. I get, like I know that, and that's just because that's what I want. Like I want my channel to be my channel. I want it to be me from beginning to end. And like other people might be a little bit better working with like a group. I know that other YouTube channels like to have videos from other producers like in their channel to be their thing. And if you can pull that off, whatever, fine, it's cool. But like you have to think about the future, about like what this is going to mean for you. And for me at the time, like if I was offered that kind of deal, my future meant that like I was inextricably linked to these guys forever, and like their failures are my failures, and my failures are their failures, and then success, you know, we share success. But like if they implode, then like what do I do? Like I have to like start again. I don't want to do that. Obviously I would have a little bit, you know, followers from when it imploded, but not nearly as much as like I would have if I just like, you know, did what I did. so there's also kind of thing about there, but like largely what this comes down to is that you have to do your research. You have to make sure that anything that they say can be verified. If it can't be verified, then just act as if they didn't say it. And then whatever they have left that is verified, if it isn't valuable enough to you, then don't take the deal. Like if you're honestly, I'm not going to say like if you're at all perturbed, then don't take a deal, because honestly, some risks need to be taken in life, and some of them work out, and some of them don't. Like Collab Alliance, for example, was not much of a risk, but it was kind of a risk. It was a risk for me because it's the kind of thing that I just have avoided. Like I just described to you how and why I've avoided it for years to do that kind of thing. But like the Collab Alliance was special because it was full of rather talented individuals. Like at first I was approached by Julian who says like, oh, I have multiplier on with me, and like I have me, and like we're trying to get other people, and like Mr. Bill's on board. I'm like, okay, well, Mr. Bill's on board, so that means that like it's at least a little bit legit. Because if you look at like the sub counts of all the various individuals, like they're not very large. Like some of them are larger than others, but they're not as big as I am. But that's not really what mattered to me about this project. What mattered to me about this project is I thought it was going to be kind of cool. I thought it was going to be neat, and I didn't think there'd be really any negative impact from my involvement in it. Is like I made all these calculations about it before I said yes. I wasn't just like, yeah, that'd be neat, let's just do it. Like I'm a little bit more reserved than that. But I like through those calculations, I determined that the deal, like what the idea that we had that we wanted to do, would work out. So I was like, you know what, let's do it. This is like, it's a risk for me just because I don't like doing these kinds of things, but I also know that I'm just shit at collaborations in general, so I decided to do this, just kind of like maybe train myself into doing more stuff like that. But I chose this to do it because it's a fairly safe bet. It was a fairly easy thing to do, and like it didn't cost me any money, and it cost them any money, as we're mostly just sharing. Like I'm in a big way helping them out, but like they're also helping me out. Like they're large enough that like since this thing started off, like I have more subscribers. Those videos have more views. Like it's our whole thing is working out that way, which it really didn't start out that way either, is the thing. I just like tried to wipe my mouth off and it got worse. What the hell, face? So like it's nuancy. It's really hard to sort of encapsulate sort of good deals or bad deals, but like you're mostly better off, actually, in most facets of this industry, you're mostly better off just doing everything yourself and at all. Like, you know, these kinds of deals also extend to the basic relationship that you might have with a label. Like those kinds of deals that labels offer you, which you also don't have to just take. Like they also don't have to accept your negotiation, but like you don't have to either. Like you don't have to like accept the deal for like a label. You can be like, you know, some changes, you know, whatever. Like I've altered deals that I have with Fixed. Like they've given me the deals that they give everybody. Like here's the deal. And I'm like, okay, like I've made some adjustments to it just because like I'm a bit of a different client for them than I'm not really a client. I'm a bit of a I'm not really a regular artist. Like I have a YouTube channel. That's kind of things that I do. So lots about like how they worded some things wouldn't have worked out for like who I am as a person. So like that kind of thing is something to be careful about. And like at large, you just want to make sure that people aren't bullshitting you, because people are really going to try and bullshit you. They're going to try super hard to bullshit you, like as hard as they can, to get you to do something dumb, to get you to agree to a deal that is absolutely not beneficial to you, but is beneficial as shit to them. That's the thing that happens. Like you got to be very defensive about it. You have to be like super duper cynical and suspect everyone of everything. And even if like, and like you might be thinking, well, like what about the good-hearted people who are going to come in and they want to do like a cool thing and they want to be nice and become the big thing that are small and grow with you. Like how do we parse that? Well, I've also had plenty of offers from kids who have come to me with business ideas that are nice. Like they're nice ideas, but they're never going to work. Like, I can't even really remember what the deal was, but I remember this kid who came at me with this whole thing, and like I felt bad about how bad the deal was, but he was like super gung ho about it, and it was really like an appeal to like emotion about like we could do these things together, and like you could bring like the viewership, and like we have all these ideas that can be nice and good, and it's like cool, but here's an enumerated list about everything about this that's like bad, and I said that to him because I wanted to help, really. Like I wanted him to know that like I think your idea is cool, but I can't be doing this kind of thing, and nobody else is ever going to agree to this. And here's why. Like in the future, in case you maybe want to retool this a little bit, here's some thoughts. And the kid was just like, oh wow, I didn't even notice how bad this was. Like he eventually agreed with me, and like I didn't want to like strong arm him into like giving up his dreams. But I have had similar stupid ideas. Like when I was, even before I was like I was seamless with the R, and I was just a regular artist. I've gone to people and given them that kind of appeal to emotion, to just be like, we could do empowering things and do incredible stuff, and they just like never got back to me. And like in hindsight, I absolutely know why they didn't, because it would have been a dumb deal. So you know, I'm not entirely against the attempt. I'm just like, you just got to be real about it. And this is mostly about you protecting yourself from predatory dumb shit deals. Like, there's lots of labels out there who only exist to basically just to like release a song, do no promo, no help whatsoever, and just accept that like when you go and like tell your family that you have a song out, that they're going to sell 5 copies, and that's enough to them, and they get as many songs of any kind as they could possibly get to just bloat their catalog and get those 5 sales per thing, and to them that makes them a lot of money, but to you it does absolutely nothing. Same thing with MCNs. Like, there's a whole class of just bullshit about that like I've done a video on in the past. Actually, you look it up. I don't remember what I called it. YouTube network, multi-channel networks is what MCN stands for. You can just Google that. You'll find all kinds of strife about it. But I mean, long story short, you don't need one, is the thing. And like, all kinds of brand deals, like the brand deals are the ones you want to be worried about, because that's your image that you're messing with. Like, when people are coming in here and they want to like do shit with branding, like with the guy who wanted me to like plug his website, like that's a big deal for me to plug anything. For me to do that means that I have to like believe in it, and to believe in it to like show people on my channel. In the past, I've like fucked that up. I've like totally abused that trust. Like, I absolutely regret doing that thing for Lander. Lander was dumb as hell. I don't recommend it to anybody, but they paid me, so I did it. Like, that's like, and I just immediately after doing that, I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna take deals that make me feel this way anymore. And because I totally, like, I could be making like 8 times as much money as I am now if I just like turn my channel to shit. But like, I don't want my channel to turn to shit. I don't want that to be what I'm known for or remembered for. And so, you know, maybe you don't care about that. Maybe you want to be a channel that's like clickbaity as fuck. Like, maybe that's what you want to do. It'll certainly work. It's proven to work. But that ain't me. I don't know if that's you. But protect yourself from bad deals. Do your homework. Make sure they're legit. Verify the hell out of everything that they could possibly do to you. Like, do for you, do from you, that kind of thing. Enumerate the hell out of what you expect out of it. And, like, pay super close attention to how they say what they say. Like, at the end of the day, all that you have is what they write down. So, like, and if they try to pressure you into any other format of conversation just because they don't want to write shit down. Yeah, I hope that made sense. I hope a lot of that made sense to you. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And as usual, have a nice day.